Hey everyone, it's Jacqueline at Pixie Dust PhD. My partner and I are leaving for Paris, France in about a week, so it's time to pack. If you want to see what I'm packing for France, hear more about our itinerary, and especially our Disneyland Paris plans, stay tuned. Thanks so much for being here. I am so excited to share Disneyland Paris with you, and maybe also a bit of Paris, France. We'll see how much filming I do. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing to the channel. You can ring the bell icon once you've subscribed in order to receive notifications whenever I post new videos. And thanks so much to all of you lovelies who have liked the video and shared any of the channel content with your friends. I really do appreciate it. Before we get into our itinerary and exactly what I'm packing, let's go over some logistics that affect these things. Excitingly, my partner and I are flying business class on Air France on the way out there, so we will be leaving the Washington, D.C. area, taking a red-eye into Charles de Gaulle in Paris, France. On the way home, we're just going to do premium economy. But anyway, since we are flying in these upgraded classes, we do get more luggage. On board, we get to bring 2 hand baggages, basically backpack size items, and then also you get your personal item as well. And I believe we each get 2 free checked bags, though I think we're going to try to only check 1 bag, at least on the way there. Maybe we'll check 2 bags on the way back. So my strategy for packing will be to use those 2 hand baggage items. One will be my roller suitcase and one will be a backpack. And then for my personal item, I will have a slightly larger purse. Usually I end up shoving my purse into my backpack when you only get 2 carry-ons total, but since we have 3, I'm just gonna leave them separate. Then my partner and I are planning to share 1 checked bag since it is about a week-and-a-half long trip. There are some liquids I wanna bring, and additionally, I wanna have some room to buy some things and bring them back. With that in mind, let's go over what I'm packing and our rough itinerary. All right, so to the airport, I'm gonna wear a t-shirt, a pair of gray jeans, and then I will have a jean jacket. The weather in France, well, at least the forecast has been kind of back and forth between quite hot and not so hot. It has been highs in the 90s, it's been highs in the upper 70s, which means sometimes the lows are only in the upper 50s. So I do wanna have a layer here, especially because sunset is so late, so we will be doing some nighttime activities. Then since we are on a red-eye flight, I want to have some things very handy that I can use in the business class bathroom. So these are toothpaste tabs instead of bringing liquid toothpaste, which I'm pretty excited about. We've tried them out. It's definitely not my favorite, but it's great for travel. So I'll keep this close to me. I'll put my toothbrush in here, have my deodorant on me, my retainer. These are just some sweatpants that I will change into, to sleep more comfortably. And then obviously I'll have my liquids near me, especially some sort of hand wipes in order to wipe down our space. A lot of this I hope I won't necessarily need on the plane, but there's, lotion, my skincare routine, eye drops, because I did recently-ish get LASIK, and then we've got a big body wipe for when we land. It's not entirely clear to me if we are entitled to go to a lounge when we land, like on the incoming flight. If so, and the waits aren't bad, I would like to shower in an airport lounge, but if not, we can at least wipe down, because I'm sure our hotel won't be ready when we get there. So I'm planning on putting these things all in this backpack. I'm actually planning on putting this backpack inside of another backpack that will be one of my carry-ons, but that way I can just have the things I really want for the flight in this one bag, and I can pull it out of my backpack and everything will be contained. Similarly, once we land, I am going to change. So this is a skirt and a tank top, and I've got a light sweater here that I can throw into my purse. So this outfit I will probably also put into this bag just for easy access. Additionally, I'll want my meds close by. So we've got fiber pills, Tums. This is an oral allergy medicine. This is just a ton of ibuprofen. This thing is chock full. Got Lactaid and some Benadryl just in case. So I will also probably keep this in this little bag. But for our first day in Paris, we don't have a ton of things on the itinerary. Do some shopping, walking around, maybe go to Notre Dame. I do think we have reservations to go into the opera whenever we want. I assume we're going to be tired, so taking it easy. Almost surely going back to the hotel to nap as soon as we can. And this will be my main purse for the trip. It's quite large, as you can see, but it's thin, which is nice. It has anti-slash straps. It's got some other security features like this that you can lock around like a chair leg or a table leg. It does have these safety locks that I can put on the zipper once I've zipped this up. It also is a crossbody and a backpack, so I think it'll be really good for Disneyland specifically. If you're interested in hearing how this worked as a park bag, leave a comment down below and I can always do a my park bag video. I like it though. It's a good size to have like a water bottle, a sweater, and everything else I need. I am also planning on bringing around a little fan with me just because, air conditioning is limited and it could be very hot. And then also just a large light scarf in case I want another layer or in case we want to lay it down to sit on grass where that's permitted. I do realize a lot of parks that's not allowed in France. Even though our first day will be a fairly full day because we land pretty early, because we'll be tired. Our first real day, I think, is the second day. And so this is what I'm going to wear. It's a little purple top, and then this is a really pretty midi skirt. We'll be going to the top of the Arc de Triomphe and then also the Louvre. Then we'll take a break at the hotel, and I'm planning on changing into this dress. It's a long maxi dress by Lily Pulitzer. I've worn it to Disney a bunch of times. It's really comfortable, and I like having the added length when it's chillier at night. Probably also will put my jean jacket on because we will be doing a river cruise on the Seine to watch the twinkling lights on the Eiffel Tower. So I'm really excited about that, but of course the sun will be down, so I think it'll be a little chilly. The next day I'm planning on wearing this long white dress. It has this really pretty back detailing, but basically it's a white dress. We will be going to the Eiffel Tower in the morning and then heading to the Dior Gallery in the afternoon. Then we'll head back to the hotel to take a break. After that, we're going to the Museum d'Orsay, and then we'll be going to a fun dinner, so I'm going to wear this rainbow dress. The next day, we're planning on probably going to a zoo, so this is a skirt and then just a tank top, pretty versatile, and if it happens to be quite hot and we're walking around up and down hills at a zoo, my clothes will be able to handle it. And we don't have too many other plans for this day. Obviously, cocktails, cheese shops, wine, cafes, etc. is always on the table for us, but we're trying to take it a little more chill this day. And we need to get to bed early because the next day we're taking a day trip out to Champagne. I'm so excited. So this is a pair of lightweight pants and then just a cute wrap top. And I will probably wear a sweater as well because the Champagne caves where they store the wine are apparently quite chilly. So we're visiting 2 different wineries, I believe. We'll be there for most of the day and then back in the city at night. And this is our last night in Paris. And the next day we check out of the hotel. I've just got a pretty versatile outfit here. This is a skirt and then a top. Again, I've worn this to Disney before. So we'll finish up whatever we want in Paris, shopping, Luxembourg Gardens, maybe a brunch, that kind of thing. And then eventually we're going to head out toward Disneyland Paris. For Paris proper, we're doing a lot of touristy things and it's 5 full nights. I am super excited. And I hope my outfits blend in enough that people don't know I'm American just as I'm walking down the street. I did, however, read that it tends to be more muted colors, and I don't have that kind of wardrobe. My wardrobe is pretty loud colors, so doing my best to blend in, but I expect that's not going to go super well. So once we're finished up with Paris for the last time in this outfit, we will go back to our hotel, collect our things, and hop on a train, and we'll be getting off at Val d'Europe to stay at an offsite hotel just for that night. Then the next morning, we are going to move from Val d'Europe offsite hotel over to Hotel New York Art of Marble. So I'm going to wear this outfit in the morning. Again, I've worn this to Disney. I actually wore it in the France Pavilion the first time we rode the Rat Ride at Walt Disney World, so I think it'll be fun to wear it in France at Disneyland Paris. But yeah, we'll drop our things off at the Marble Hotel, get our tickets, etc., and then head into the parks. Again, I don't expect our hotel room will be ready until about 3 or 4 p.m., so planning on being in this outfit for a while. I want to try to catch the Dream and Shine Brighter parade this day for sure, and then also get on some key rides. For me, this is probably like Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain. I do want to do Crush's Coaster very badly, but we might save that for the next day. And depending on timing, we may also try to fit in Mickey and the Magician. We will miss the 5:30 parade though, because we have a 6 o'clock dinner reservation in Manhattan. So we'll head back to the hotel once the room's ready, refresh, rest up a little bit if there's time, and then I'm going to change into this rainbow dress. So we'll get dinner at the Manhattan, and then head back out to the parks. Fireworks are not till 11 p.m. again because the sun sets so late. So I'm also anticipating, bringing my jean jacket or a sweater or something along with this. The next day we'll head back into the parks. I haven't quite decided which park we're going to rope drop. So there is extra magic hour for Disneyland, but there is not an extra magic hour for the studio side. But we'll see how it goes. Either way, I'm going to wear this rainbow dress. Again, I've worn this to Disney a couple times now. I just really like it. I think it's super fun and cute. We have an 11:30 lunch reservation at I think it's called the Silver Spur Steakhouse. It's some steakhouse in, I believe, Disneyland Park in the Frontierland area. So we'll do that, and then I'm guessing we'll want to take a break and take a nap back at the hotel because we will have been out fairly late the night before for fireworks, and especially if we got up early this morning to rope drop. Then once we're ready to head back into the parks, I'm going to change into this outfit. This is a ruffle tank top and a long pineapple skirt, again, just because I do think once the sun goes down, it'll be a little cooler. And after this second day in Disneyland Paris, this will be our last night sleeping at the Marble Hotel, so we'll have to pack up and get ready to say goodbye. Because it's 2 nights, that means it's a 3-day ticket package, so the 3rd day I'll be wearing this outfit. It's my purple jean shorts and little pineapple top. We don't have any super strict plans for this day in terms of what we want to get done at the parks. It will depend on what we've accomplished previously. Oh, I forgot to say I am planning on getting to see the 5:30 parade in this outfit on our 2nd day for sure. If I love the 5:30 parade or if we miss it for some reason, we probably will stay late enough on our 3rd day to make sure that happens. Most exciting about our 3rd day though, we do have a lunch reservation at Chez Remy. I have heard really great things about this, and even if the food is not phenomenal, I'm sure the theming is wonderful, so I'm stoked for that. And yeah, we're just gonna play our 3rd day by ear. And whenever we feel like we're done, we're just gonna collect our things at our hotel, and then we will probably take a ride share out to Charles de Gaulle where we have an airport hotel. There is a bullet train that gets you there literally in like 9 or 10 minutes, but it's a little bit expensive for the 2 of us. It looks like a rideshare will probably cost less money, so I think we'll go with that. In terms of other stuff we're packing, I do have one auxiliary tank top. I'm planning probably on wearing this on the plane home, but may end up wearing it elsewhere, you never know. Here is a yellow sweater. I already had the navy sweater over here. It's buried, you can't see it there. But yeah, also a yellow sweater and some PJs. This is a swimsuit, socks, underwear, that kind of stuff. Then for other utility items, we are going to bring water bottles, of course. I recently got this Onta collapsible water bottle, and I like it a lot. You may remember I've been using this Hideaway, which I also like, but this part is kind of fat. Like, it doesn't fit very well in cup holders or in the mesh pockets on the sides of backpacks, so I think I'm gonna go with this one this time. We've had this portable steamer for years, and if I'm checking a bag anyway, I tend to pack it just to make getting wrinkles out of our outfits easier. And then this is what I'm calling my foot care kit. So if any of you are prone to blisters, listen up. I don't know that this is foolproof, but I've been testing it out for the past 6 months and it works pretty well for me. So first up is definitely Foot Glide by Body Glide. Put this, back of the heels, really anywhere that rubs, that works great. I've also got some Moleskine padding, so you can cut this to wherever you want. These patches are from this company called Engo, and the idea is you put them actually in your shoe where it rubs instead of on your foot. So they're really slick, the idea being that blisters are a result of friction, and if you make it slicker, then there's less friction. And I've put some in my sandals, you'll see that in a minute, that it's working really well. So I'm just gonna bring some extras in case I notice some spots that need some help. Then I also have this Cover Roll stretch stuff. So I've been testing out taping the bottom of my feet. I'm pretty prone to blisters on the balls of my feet, and this definitely helps. Though if you're going to bring something like this, you'll also need a small pair of scissors. So yeah, foot care kit. It will be my preference if I can keep this in my carry-on because I would like to make sure I have it right away, but we'll see how packing goes. I have a pair of sunglasses in my purse already, but I always bring a second pair in case I lose one pair, so this will probably go in the check bag. Got a small umbrella in case it rains. Here is my jewelry roll if you want to preview. I've also got 2 watches in here, and I'll wear a watch to the airport. I'm bringing a smaller purse just because that one is quite large, and so particularly if I'm not trying to pack a sweater in there, like if it's already nighttime and I'm already wearing my jean jacket, then I can just put my wallet and camera and stuff in a smaller purse and not have to deal with this bulk. And then my hanging toiletry kit. So we've got, hairbrush, hair items, non-liquid makeup. This is like tweezers and stuff. I will say, I think it is space-wise more efficient to pack these in separate little bags and shove the bags wherever they go. But I just really enjoy the ease of having this to hang up in the closet or wherever there's space. We already looked at my liquids bag, but here is my partner's. So they have the Flonase, some sunscreen, some more face wash. I also have face wash. Neosporin, there's anti-itch cream in here somewhere, shaving cream, more hand sanitizer, and lotion. Especially for the plane, I think it's going to be quite dry. Then we have some liquids we will check. So this is spray, sunscreen, some lotion, and some specifically hand cream. This stuff O'Keeffe's Working Hands. If you've never used it, it is fantastic. And here are some other checked liquids. Not gonna lie, this is mostly for me. It's like my shampoo, conditioner, bug spray, makeup setting spray. There's some body glitter in here, some makeup remover oil, that kind of stuff. And then here we have face masks. As per usual, I've got your standard surgical masks and these more fitted M95C masks. For shoes for the trip, I am still making some decisions. I very recently got these sort of brushed gold white-ish sneakers from Frye, and the shoes themselves are quite comfortable, but I have noticed some rubbing spots like right here, so I either need to figure those out with treating the shoe, putting some Engo patches in here or moleskin, and I'm still testing out different sock styles with these. So I want to bring these, they're comfortable, but that's gonna be a game time decision. I definitely will be bringing my Allbirds, these are super comfortable. Here is a pair of Vionic sandals that are new to me, but I mean, I wear Vionic sandals all the time. These specific ones are new to me, and I did see I put the Engo patches here and they're just super slick, and so I've not had any problems getting blisters thus far. They're dirty, you can tell I've been wearing them around town a lot. And then I'm also going to bring a pair of Chacos. I know these are super not stylish and I'm sure the French people will hate me for wearing them, but especially on like the day we land from the plane, like these shoes are by far the easiest on my knees and my hips and my back, and sometimes you just got to go with comfort over style. And then of course a pair of flip-flops. So I'm sticking with my 4-shoe strategy. If you don't know what that means, basically I like to wear 2 pairs of shoes per day, a pair in the morning, and then when we take a break at the hotel, I switch them out to a different pair. And then on the next day, I try not to rewear either of those 2 pairs, so I switch to other 2 pairs, and that way there's no consistent rubbing in the same spots on my feet. And here's my actual carry-on backpack that I will bring, that I will shove the brown with rainbow mice backpack inside of, or at least that's the plan. I am once again planning on using my Solgaard carry-on closet. I don't always necessarily use the closet portion, but I think I will for this trip. I do find it extremely convenient. I've not yet packed this bag for a trip this long, and also obviously not everything will fit in here, but we'll see how much I can get to fit in here, and let's get packing. All right, obviously we have to get through the whole suitcase, but first things first, I do want to pack that brown Rainbow Mouse backpack with sort of my essentials for the flight. Okay, like I said, sweatpants for sleeping, and then my first outfit to change into once we arrive. Okay. Whew. Toothbrush, I'll still need to put this in. Obviously, I need my toothbrush, deodorant, meds, toothpaste, the things I went over before. We got our liquids. So, relevant outfits, liquids. Honestly, I was hoping this would squish down smaller, but I might be out of luck. And here's my actual carry-on backpack. It's got the trolley sleeve and like nice padding. It's just much more comfortable to tote around than this, so this will go inside of here. Maybe. Victory! So put the water bottle in here and, you know, a few other essentials, but my purse will be on the outside, so this is kind of all I really need to do. I also am strategically bringing another bag. That way, if we do want to check a second bag on the way back home, perhaps we can check my backpack and I'll just use this as my second carry-on. I'm pretty sure I'm going to want to change in my Chacos once we land after that red eye, so I am going to try to fit those into my carry-on for ease of access. Yeah, that was easy enough. All right, let's move on to the actual bag now. I packed the carry-on closet a handful of times, but like I said before, we're never for a trip this long, so that'll be interesting. Outfits for our Arc de Triomphe in the Louvre and our cruise on the River Seine to see the Eiffel Tower at night. The next day is the Eiffel Tower and the Dior Gallery, and then the Orsay Museum, plus a fun, cute dinner. And the idea here is you don't want to pack any of these compartments more than about 70% full, they say. And so also ideally you're like folding them to be the exact right size, but that can obviously be a little bit challenging, especially if you want to avoid wrinkles. Next up is Zoo Day, but I won't be heartbroken if this outfit gets lost in a checked bag, so I'm probably just gonna move on to my winery tour outfit for when we're going to Champagne. And here's the outfit for our last day in Paris. Pack this one in here as well. I think there's room for this one, so we're gonna shove it in too. First day in Disneyland outfits. I also want to make sure I have my PJs. And let's also put my yellow sweater in here. This will be a good versatile piece for me. Okay, I probably could fit more in, but I want to see what it's like with just this. This bottom one has these dividers. I think it's for socks and undies, but I already packed those in a compression cube that I want to be able to fit in this too. So let's go ahead and squeeze her up and see how we do. Okay, I think that's about as good as it's gonna get. Here's the underwear, very important. This is my hanging toiletry kit, so if we could fit both of these in here, that would be great. Just barely, just barely. Okay, we've got a little space right here. Here we've got the jewelry roll and then my foot care kit. Okay, and I think that will about do it. I could probably lay something fairly flat on top here. So honestly, I might do that with one more outfit. I could take this out and put another outfit probably in the slots, but it's just not worth the effort. Here's my last day in Disneyland outfit, and then also my small purse. I think that should be fine. And yeah, I don't see any other opportunistic gaps for... There's this one gap right here. Hold on. Let's try sunglasses and or umbrella. They both fit. Okay, well, that's not promising. These don't meet the like buckles to secure everything. So let's see if we can close this or not. I tried really hard, I could close it, but I don't think it's necessarily worth that effort since we are checking a bag. So I'm going to take these things off, and let's take out the umbrella and the foot care kit. These still don't quite meet, but let's see how this goes. Oh yeah, that's so much better though. Oh, do need these to stay in though while we attempt to close this up. Okay, so hold that.
A few moments later.
We did it! It's very cold, but we did it. So there's a couple outfits left for Disneyland Paris, my auxiliary tank top for flying home, my umbrella, my foot care kit. I'm definitely sure I can put my foot care kit in my carry-on, if not my purse. And then the umbrella I think can go in the side pocket of my carry-on backpack. The other side pocket will be the water bottle, of course. Of the 5 pairs of shoes I'm bringing, so 4 real pairs plus 1 pair of flip-flops, didn't manage to get anything other than the Chacos into my carry-on backpack, so most of those will get checked. I will wear 1 pair, of course, and then maybe we'll slide the flip-flops into my carry-on backpack. I don't really know if it's worth it though. We can probably just check them. But yeah, overall this went pretty well. Packing for long trips is always stressful and difficult for me. We still have to do electronics. I obviously have to pack vlogging equipment and, you know, toothbrush, some last minute things, but feeling pretty good for being a week out. Hopefully the weather doesn't take a drastic turn between now and then. Like I said at the beginning, I'm really looking forward to taking you on the trip with me. I cannot wait. Although I'm pretty anxious at the moment with the remaining packing we have to do. I still have to bleach my roots, I have to redo my nails. There's a lot to do in this week. But I hope you're looking forward to the vlogs, and we'll see you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD.